Hello, grade 8 learners! For today's video, ang topic natin ay tungkol sa factoring the difference of two squares. The factors of the difference of two squares can be obtained by multiplying the sum and difference of the square root of A and the square root of B. So, ang magiging pattern natin, that is A plus B, multiply it by A minus B. But first, we need to check kung difference of two squares nga ba siya. Of course, kung perfect square yung first term, at kung perfect square yung second term, at pinaghiwalay ng minus sign, that is an example of difference of the square. So, perfect square si x squared, perfect square din si 121. So, ito ay difference of two squares. Tingnan naman natin yung pangalawa. X squared minus 50. Perfect squared ito, pero yung 50 is not a perfect square. So, hindi ito difference of two squares. Dito naman sa pangatlo, x squared plus 49. Perfect square ito, perfect square din si 49, but as you can see, ang sign is plus. So, hindi rin pwede kasi difference of two squares dapat. So, hindi rin ito difference of two squares. Okay? So, kapag nakakita na kayo ng ganito, perfect square, tapos pinaghiwalay ng minus sign, ang magiging factor na niya is ganito. And, of course, you need to know the perfect square numbers. Ano nga ba itong mga to? Ang mga example ng perfect squares ay 1, 4, 9, 16, 25, 36, 49, 64, 81, 100, at marami pang iba. At merong square root yung mga perfect square na numbers. So, ang square root ng 1 equals 1 kasi 1 times 1 equals 1. Ang square root naman ng 4 is 2 since 2 times 2 equals 4. Ang square root ng 9 is 3 since 3 times 3 equals 9. Okay, ganun po siya. Paano naman kunin yung square root ng variable? Example, ang square root ng x squared is equal to x. Kasi x times x equals x squared. Ang square root naman ng x raised to 6 equals x raised to 3. Kasi x raised to 3 times x raised to 3 equals x raised to 6. And last example, ang square root ng x raised to 8 equals x raised to 4. Kasi x raised to 4 times x raised to 4, i-add ninyo yung exponent, that is equal to x raised to 8. So, ito po yung mga square root ng mga variables. So, let's have an example. Dito sa number 1, we have 25x squared minus 64. So, perfect square ito, perfect square, may minus sign. Ang gagawin ninyo, maglagay lang kayo ng parenthesis na dalawa, and then plus and minus sign. At ang gagawin na natin, kunin yung square root ng first term. So, the square root of 25x squared is equal to 5x. Then, kunin natin yung square root ng 64. The square root of 64 equals 8. So, ganyan po. At ilalagay si 5x dito sa first term ng parenthesis. Then, si 8 naman dito sa second term, sa loob ng parenthesis. And this is now your factor. 5x plus 8 times 5x minus 8. So, ganun lang po siya. Next, we have number 2, 144x raised to 6 minus 9a squared. So, maglagay lang ng dalawang parenthesis, plus and minus sign. Then, kunin yung square root ng first term, 144x raised to 6. Ang square root ng 144 is equal to 12. Ang square root ng x raised to 6 ay x raised to 3. So, meron na tayong first term. Then, kunin natin yung square root ng 9a squared. Ang square root ng 9 is 3. At ang square root ng a squared ay a. Lagay ko na lang dito sa baba para makita ninyo. Plus and minus. So, si 12x cube ilalagay sa first term. So, 12x cube dito, 12x cube din dito. Si 3a naman dito sa pangalawang term. And this is now our factor. Number 3, we have 81x raised to 4 minus 16y squared. So, maglagay ng dalawang parentheses, plus and minus sign. Get the square root of the first term. So, ang square root ng 81x raised to 4 ay 9x squared. At ang square root naman ng 16y squared is equal to 4y raised to 1 or 4y na lang. So, ang final answer natin ay 9x squared plus 4y times 9x squared minus 4y. And then lastly, we have 625 p raised to 8 minus 81 q raised to 4. So, maglagay ng dalawang parentheses, plus and minus sign, then get the square root of the first term. So, 625 p raised to 8. Ano ang square root ng 625? That is equal to 25. Kasi 25 times 25 equals 625. Okay po? And then, ang square root naman ng p raised to 8 is equal to p raised to 4. Kasi p raised to 4 times p raised to 4 equals p raised to 8. Then, kunin natin yung square root ng second term, 81q raised to 4. So, ang square root ng 81 is 9. Ang square root ng q raised to 4 ay q raised to 2. So, ang final answer natin ay 25p raised to 4 plus 9q raised to 2 times 25p raised to 4 minus 9q raised to 2. Okay? So, ganun lamang po ang pagkuha ng factor ng difference of two squares. Kung gusto ninyong panoorin yung iba't ibang ways in factoring polynomials, i-check nyo lang sa mga latest videos natin. Okay, yun lamang. Maraming salamat sa inyong panonood. Kung nakatulong to sa inyo, please do like this video at mag-comment na rin kayo sa baba. Once again, stay safe, stay healthy at mag-aral ng mabuti. God bless you all and goodbye!